All right, you degenerates, you ready for this? We're going deep on the Hubble today. Should be a wild ride. You with me?
Oh, absolutely. The Hubble, it's a hell of a story. Triumph and disaster, all rolled into one.
Multi-billion-dollar telescope floating above Earth. You'd think they'd get it right the first time, but nope. Even NASA fucks up sometimes. Big time.
You're not wrong. And the Hubble, well, it's the poster child for how to screw up spectacularly.
So let's not beat around the bush. This thing launched with a fucked up mirror. How the hell does that happen?
Right, you'd think that'd be, like, priority number one, making sure the damn mirror works.
Okay, before we get to that glorious disaster, give us the backstory. How did this whole space telescope thing even get started?
Well, we gotta go back to this dude, Lyman Spitzer. Back in 1946, he had this vision. A telescope in space, above all the atmospheric crap that screws up ground-based observations.
So, no more blurry stars because of that pesky air, right? Smart idea, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It was revolutionary. See, being above the atmosphere, it meant you could see things much clearer. And you could also access wavelengths of light that get blocked down here, like ultraviolet and infrared.
Okay, pause. Before we go any further, we got to give props to the woman who made Hubble a reality. I'm talking about Nancy Grace Roman, the mother of Hubble.
Ah, yes. Nancy Grace Roman. Force of nature, that woman. She basically shamed those tight-fisted politicians into funding Hubble.
Sounds like she could talk a cat off a fish truck. What a legend. But back to the fuck-up. Spill the beans. What went wrong with the mirror?
Well, they used this high-tech gizmo called a reflective null corrector to make sure they were grinding the mirror to the right shape. But get this, the damn thing was assembled wrong.
Are you kidding me? They fucked up the tool they used to make the mirror. That's like using a broken ruler to measure something.
And the worst part is, it was a tiny mistake. One lens out of place by just 1.3 millimeters.
1.3 millimeters. Seriously, that's smaller than my...
Well, you get the idea. That tiny thing screwed up the whole mirror. Yep.
The curvature was wrong. The mirror was perfectly smooth and polished, but it was the wrong shape. Imagine wearing glasses with the wrong prescription. Same idea.
So billions of dollars, years of work, and they end up with a blurry-eyed telescope. What a shit show. Those scientists must have been freaking out.
Oh, they were pissed. Hubble was supposed to revolutionize astronomy. Instead, it became a national joke. Everyone was scrambling to figure out how to fix this multi-billion-dollar mess.
Okay, I gotta know. How do you fix a giant mirror that's floating hundreds of miles above Earth? Did they, like, send a repairman up there with some cosmic duct tape?
Not quite. Replacing the mirror in space, way too expensive and risky. So they came up with this crazy plan, corrective optics. They basically gave Hubble glasses.
They sent astronauts up there to give a telescope an eye exam. Now that's some serious space-age shit.
It was risky as hell. The first servicing mission in 1993, talk about pressure.
Yeah.
These astronauts had to spacewalk to install this device called CoStar. It had a set of corrective mirrors to fix Hubble's vision. And did it work? Did CoStar turn Hubble from a cosmic laughingstock into, well, a telescope that could actually see straight?
It did. The images Hubble sent back after that, crystal clear. Talk about a comeback story. It was a huge win for NASA, and it showed what humans can do when we really put our minds to it.
All right, so they fixed the mirror. But what did Hubble actually see? What did it teach us about the universe? Spill the cosmic tea.
Well, first of all, Hubble helped us figure out the age of the universe.
Okay, hit me with it. How old is this cosmic bastard we call home?
About 13.7 billion years old, give or take a few million. Before Hubble, nobody really knew for sure. It was a huge debate in astronomy. But Hubble settled it. It gave us a much clearer picture of our cosmic history.
13.7 billion years. Damn. Makes you feel kind of small, doesn't it? What else did Hubble uncover?
Well, it confirmed that the universe isn't just expanding, it's actually accelerating. And it provided evidence for those massive black holes lurking in the centers of galaxies.
Black holes. Aren't those things like cosmic vacuum cleaners?
Yeah.
Sounds terrifying.
They are pretty terrifying, yeah. They can suck up anything that gets too close, even light. But Hubble also helped us discover and study exoplanets. Those are planets that orbit other stars.
Hold up, you're telling me there are other planets out there? Like potentially with aliens and shit?
Potentially, yeah. Some of them might even be habitable, meaning they could support life as we know it.
Okay, now you're blowing my mind. Alien planets. That's some next level shit. Makes you wonder what else is out there.
It certainly does. And Hubble has played a huge role in opening our eyes to the wonders and the mysteries of the cosmos.
Well, folks, we've barely scratched the surface of Hubble's story. This bad boy had quite the career, with more drama and discoveries to come. But we got to take a break.
We'll be back in a minute to dive deeper into the wild world of Hubble. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Space Cadets. Ready for more Hubble craziness. This thing didn't just sit pretty up there. It got multiple tune-ups. Like 5 times they sent astronauts up there to fix and upgrade it.
5 times. Seriously, that's some serious commitment to a telescope. Talk about a high-maintenance piece of equipment. What'd they do, give it a fresh coat of paint and install a disco ball?
Not quite. They replaced cameras, gyroscopes, computers, even those solar panels.
Solar panels, those things are huge. How do you even fit that on a spaceship?
It's tricky, for sure. The shuttle had this robotic arm, like a giant claw machine. They'd grab Hubble carefully and pull it in for repairs.
Okay, that's pretty badass. So what were the big upgrades? Which missions really made a difference?
Servicing Mission 2 in 1997, they replaced this thing called the Goddard High Resolution Spectrograph. It was a game changer. Let Hubble see way more detail.
More detail, huh? So like going from an old school flip phone to a goddamn iPhone.
Exactly. It's like seeing the universe in high definition for the first time. But there was this other mission, Servicing Mission 4, almost didn't happen. Hubble almost got the axe.
Hold on, they wanted to scrap Hubble. Why the hell would they do that?
After the Columbia shuttle disaster, NASA got all risk-averse. They said future missions had to be able to reach the International Space Station just in case.
Yeah, makes sense. But Hubble's not exactly parked next to the space station, is it?
Oh, and that was the problem. They couldn't reach both. So the NASA administrator at the time, this guy Sean O'Keefe, basically said, let Hubble die.
Are you shitting me? They were going to let this amazing telescope become space junk.
That was the plan. But the astronomy community, they lost their shit. Protests, petitions, you name it. They weren't letting Hubble go down without a fight.
Power to the nerds. I love it. So what happened? Did they save Hubble?
They did. A new NASA administrator came in, saw the light, and gave the green light for servicing Mission 4. It was a huge effort, but they did it.
Talk about a close call. What did they do on that last mission? Did they give it a full makeover?
Pretty much. New data handling unit, repaired some key instruments, new batteries, even swapped out the gyroscopes.
So Hubble's basically a Frankenstein's monster space telescopes now, all patched up and ready to go.
Pretty much. But it worked. That mission gave Hubble a new lease on life, and it was able to keep making amazing discoveries for years to come.
Okay, so Hubble's a survivor.
Yeah.
But it can't last forever, right? What's the prognosis?
Well, its orbit is slowly decaying, which means it's getting closer and closer to Earth. Eventually, it'll re-enter the atmosphere and burn up.
A fiery death for a space legend. Kind of poetic in a morbid sort of way. But wait, before we get all sentimental, what about Hubble's successor? The James Webb Space Telescope, right? Is that thing going to fill Hubble's shoes?
The James Webb, it's a whole other animal. Bigger, more powerful, and designed to see things Hubble could only dream of.
Okay, now you've got my attention. Spill the beans. What can this James Webb thing do that Hubble couldn't?
Well, for starters, it has a mirror that's like 6 times bigger than Hubble's. 6 times. That means it can collect way more light.
So we're talking seeing stuff that's super faint, right? Like galaxies from the edge of the universe.
Yeah, exactly. Galaxies so far away, the light has been traveling for like almost the entire age of the universe.
That's insane. We're talking about seeing back to like almost the Big Bang.
Pretty much. And get this, the James Webb is designed to see in infrared light.
Infrared. So like night vision goggles, but for space.
Kinda, yeah. But it's more about seeing the really old stuff, the light from those ancient galaxies. It gets stretched out as it travels. It shifts towards the infrared.
So Hubble is like the paparazzi, snapping pics of the hot young stars. And James Webb is the historian, digging into the dusty archives of the universe.
I like that. Good analogy. Oh, and there's one more big difference. The James Webb, it's not orbiting Earth like Hubble.
Where the hell is it then? Did they park it on the moon?
Nope. It's at this special spot called the L2 Lagrange point.
Lagrange point.
Yeah.
Sounds like some Star Trek bullshit. What is that?
It's a real thing, I promise. It's like this point in space where the gravity of the Earth and the sun, they kind of balance out. It creates this stable spot where a spacecraft can just hang out.
So it's like a cosmic parking spot.
Exactly. And it's perfect for a telescope like James Webb because it can just sit there and observe without burning a ton of fuel.
Okay, so James Webb is chilling in its space parking spot, staring into the abyss. What's going to find? Alien civilizations. A giant space unicorn farting rainbows.
Maybe not the uniform, but seriously, James Webb is going to answer some big questions. Like, how did the first stars and galaxies form? What are those exoplanets like? Maybe even figure out what dark matter and dark energy are.
Dark matter, dark energy, that shit sounds spooky. So James Webb is the future. What about good old Hubble? Is it going to be forgotten like a dusty old telescope in an attic somewhere?
Nah, I don't think so. Hubble's still got some tricks up its sleeve. It sees different wavelengths of light than James Webb, so they can actually work together, give us a more complete picture of the universe.
A cosmic tag team. I like it.
Yeah.
Who knows, maybe NASA will get sentimental and send another crew up there to give Hubble a little boost, keep it going for a few more years.
Yeah, one can hope. After all, Hubble gave us some of the most incredible images of space we've ever seen, like the pillars of creation, those giant clouds of gas and dust where stars are being born.
Iconic images. Hubble really showed us the beauty of the universe. And to think, it all started with a messed up mirror. Who knew a fuck-up like that could lead to so much?
It's a testament to human ingenuity, right? They could have just given up on Hubble, but they didn't. They found a way to fix it, and it ended up becoming one of the most successful scientific instruments ever.
They turned a cosmic lemon into lemonade. Or in this case, a blurry mirror into a window to the universe.
Well said. Hubble may eventually fade away, but its legacy, that'll live on forever. It'll keep inspiring us to explore the cosmos, to push the boundaries of science and engineering.
Damn right. All right, folks, that's a wrap on our deep dive into the Hubble Space Telescope. From near disaster to mind-blowing discoveries, it's been a hell of a ride.
It really has. And it just goes to show, sometimes even our biggest fuck-ups can lead to incredible things.
So keep looking up at the night sky, and remember that little telescope that changed the way we see the universe. And for all you amateur stargazers out there, keep your telescopes pointed skyward. And for fuck's sake, make sure your mirrors are clean.
Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of the universe.